All right, everybody. Great and beautiful morning. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Hopefully, everybody had a safe weekend and a safe and great Labor Day to rest from all your works. But of course, we've all know better that the actual rest day is on the Sabbath. But that's not what I'm going to be covering here in reference to it, though. But if y'all had seen not my last video, but the one before it on the number of a man 666. I wanted to share this guy's insights, and I'm assuming it's a guy because the guy's name is Guy Osmond, and I will not say anything bad or disrespect him, but the comments are pretty much self-explanatory, okay? So I take the liberty, since these comments are made on my video, okay? He says, the Sunday law is a total hoax. And I said, where's your proof? He says, well, I think he erased that comment, but then I said, you may not need proof because you can't prove otherwise. I've read and shown plenty of proof in my videos. Your common sense is your own opinion, and when you try to tell others it's a hoax or an opinion without having any proof, that makes it your own opinion. And I quoted 2 Peter 1:20-21, no private interpreting. He says, John Pauline, professor of theology at Linda Loma University, put out a paper about 6 months ago stating that there is not going to be Sunday law and that E.G. White was not a prophet. Well, I think we can all agree to that as far as E.G. White not being a prophet. A belief he has held for many years is my guess. Notice, guess. The Christian Scholars Forum, which basically consists of 4 ex-graduates of theology at Andrews University, plus an English theologian and historian, they now appear to debunk just about everything that they were taught at Andrews. E.G. White was a false prophet. The Sunday law is a myth. The seventh day Sabbath is obsolete and has been so for nearly 2,000 years. W. Miller, a false prophet and teacher. The investigated judgment is a heresy. The 2300 days is days, not only years. Or to put it another way, all of the unique and unusual doctrines of the SDA are totally void of any truth. Do some research and get up to speed, my friend. Obviously, he has not seen my videos, right, where I give you guys all the sources where I get my research from. So I told him that I have done my research. I have even debunked E.G. White's false prophecy on Daniel chapter 7. On the 3 horns that supposedly were uprooted and destroyed when those 3 have modern day counterparts. In my videos, I state I do not follow theologians. And he says, and that's why you know nothing about nothing. Obviously, this guy has bad grammar, bad spelling. So I said, well, I rely on facts, not your opinions. All you have to do is prove me wrong with scripture. It's obvious to see you don't do your own studying or research. You follow the blind leaders, which obviously he has quoted theologians already. And I said, I'll make sure I'll post your comments in my next video, which I am doing now. He says, you may not know, but 90% of research is studying what others believe, not what every Tom, Dick, and Harry believes, but people like Augustine, John Calvin, Jonathan Edwards, Adam Clark, R.C. Sproul, Dr. Ken Gentry, Bruce Gore, people who are generally recognized as being gifted from above when it comes to theology and eschatology. Oh man. So it's okay. It's not okay if I follow somebody else's teachings, which I have said maybe once or twice that there are other people showing these things. But this guy's, he's following these guys or he's following theologians. So nice try, dude. This guy cuts his own neck in almost every comment that you'll see in these next ones. I said, still, those are men who have studied what other men have put out as theology and just repeat what they say, just like you. Your words are witness to what you just said. And I quoted Jeremiah 23, where the prophet Jeremiah states that people take words from each other and then repeat what they have heard others say, and then say this is what Yahweh says. But I mean, even then, I guess this guy meant no harm, but I mean, he contradicts himself all the way down, cuts his own neck. Says, but I'm still waiting for you to prove me wrong with scripture that a Sunday is not the mark of the beast. He says, in reality, He says the emphasis is on you to prove the Sunday law is real. You're the one who has produced a video on social media claiming a Sunday law. However, you want some input from me. First of all, it's against the American Constitution to introduce a forced religious law. I am not an American. Well, that explains everything. I am not an American, but I know it would be against the Constitution of most countries. For any government to try and enforce such a super silly thing like a Sunday law would instantly create massive worldwide demonstrations and riots. The general public would refuse to comply with such a super silly thing like a Sunday law. I do not know how the USA is going to get 1.4 billion Chinese to comply, Hindu India with 1.3 billion Indians to comply, 257 million Pakistanis who are mostly staunch Muslims. Then there is Russia, Siberia, the list is endless, and besides all this, Sunday is the Christian Sabbath. Saturday is the old, obsolete Old Testament Jewish Sabbath anyway. It's been obsolete for the Jews for nearly 1,000 years. Okay, let me say something here. He says the general public would refuse to comply with such a super silly thing like Sunday law. Well, let me tell you, Guy, that a lot of people, hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people, already attend Sunday services. And it is not necessarily up to the people, but it is a fact that the National Council of Churches, there's all these big church groups that are working with the government to get this thing passed. Because, well, the majority of the world goes to church on Sunday anyways. That is what they are going to use, and people have already been going to Sunday Mass, so it would be a very thing to do. It is already bad enough that we have a National Hangover Day, which is on the 1st of the month of this year. I mean, that's why laws do not get changed, they get amended. If he was an American, I guess he would know that, right? But he says here, Sunday is the Christian Sabbath. I've covered that. I know that. The people who watch this video know that. The people who go to these churches who attend Sunday services knows that. So tell me something I don't know, Guy. He says it's been obsolete. The Jewish Sabbath has been obsolete for the Jews for nearly 2,000 years. Well, I hate to tell you this, Guy, but there are a number of Jews who still keep the Sabbath. So because it's been obsolete does not mean it's not the true Sabbath. Next one here, I say no doubt maybe the Constitution was ratified, maybe it wasn't. But laws in this country can be amended. This Constitution might as well be based on theological syncretism. And I have just recently been covering that kind of stuff. Germany has already passed their Sunday law. Either China or Japan is in the works of it if they haven't already. I've also covered that minutely in the past couple of videos. So I say, I'm still waiting for you to prove the scripture wrong on the mark of the beast not being a Sunday. No biblical laws have changed. Man has transgressed the everlasting covenant, and I've covered this plenty of times. I said, just read it, and I said 24, 1-6. Yeshua Messiah stated, do not even think I had come to destroy. Well, I misspelled come, but it should be C-O-M-E, not C-O-N, like cone, to destroy the law of the prophets. So it's obvious that if you think those old Jewish laws were done away with, and I said this because he thinks that the Jewish Sabbath is obsolete, then I say you are in fact part of the Nimrod rebellious system mentioned in Genesis 10. God worship has always been against Yahweh. I say I am waiting for you to show me in Scripture that what Scripture actually says is wrong. Scriptural answers only. Notice what he says. For me, in other words, in my opinion, it's his opinion. He says, for me, Revelation 13 was totally fulfilled in the first century. The first beast out of the sea is a combo of both the Roman Empire and one of its heads, the beast Nero Caesar. So the mark of the beast, in my opinion, which that is what IMO stands for, is the coins that Nero had minted that depicted Nero as the sun god Apollo. History records that the majority of Christians and Jews refused to touch these coins, let alone employ them for buying and selling. Eventually, they minted their own coins, but this brought further persecution their way. The beast out of the earth is Israel and its apostate Judaism, symbolized by Old Jerusalem and its temple, which was totally destroyed according to the judgment of God in AD 70. Well, he's got some truth in these latter comments towards the end here. But the beast out of the earth is Israel. I mean, we do have a scattered Israel tribes here in the U.S., but not directly or necessarily is it just Israel. Okay. All right. So I said in scripture, I'm not interested in your opinions. So then he asked, how do you mean in scripture? I said, I have told you what, in my opinion, the mark of the beast is. And I said, you said the mark of the beast was a hoax. My videos are based on scriptural proof and scriptural evidence. You put the challenge, so now back up what you say. I have no interest in opinions or any interest in theology. And I quoted, Colossians 2:8 states to stay away from philosophy, which theology is. So, I meant to put so, if Sunday law is a hoax, then what, according to scripture, is the mark of the beast? So then he just says, did you get my email? Maybe it got deleted by YouTube. I believe I think he meant to put the mark of the beast is referring to the coins Nero had meant to depicted himself as the sun god Apollo. He says, I never said the mark of the beast was a hoax. Well, in essence, he did, because the Sunday law worship is the mark of the beast. I said the Sunday law is a hoax. I did say that I do not believe in the way the SDA or the Seventh-day Adventists interpret the mark of the beast. And I ended it saying, well, no dice. So obviously, as I stated before, people, in my earlier videos, and it's not that I try to put a challenge towards anyone, but I've always stated, if you think I'm wrong and showing you what I'm showing you, then prove me wrong, but show me in scripture where I'm wrong. I've already stood the test myself and have corrected myself twice, and I've said it in plain English. I've still corrected on 2 parts. Okay. If you're going to come up to me in my video and comment stuff like this, have your scriptural proof and the resources handy. Okay. It's that simple. It's that easy. If you can't, if you're going to put up something to a challenge, you better have those facts at hand, because if not, obviously, like this guy, he just stopped answering. You can see that is the last of those comments. Okay. So this guy wants to tell me that because I studied other people's teachings, which I have, and I've stated it on and off, this guy does the same thing, but still couldn't answer my question for him to show me what the mark of the beast was according to scriptures. So, guy, if you're watching this, with all due respect, brother, I mean, it was it was nice commenting with you, but it's been almost 2 days already, 48 hours, and you still have come up with no answers. So, I mean, watch my other videos. Look up other videos. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of people showing you that a national Sunday law is coming, which is the mark of the beast. But what a lot of people have failed to see, like you, is that it is a spiritual mark. It is not something you can smell or touch or taste. If you don't have understanding through the scriptures, you have no understanding at all. Okay, I covered the scripture, I can't remember where it's at right now, but I read it, I think, in Psalms or Proverbs, that says, a great understanding are they who do your laws or your commandments. So obviously, you have no understanding. You just have somebody else's hearsay or say so. If I do, I have given the people's names from the sources that I read out of. And I also have the words of the prophets, the disciples, the Messiah, and the apostles. And then, of course, who should have been number one was Yahweh himself, because Yahweh's inspired words give us the truth in these things. Okay. So I just like to say it was great chatting with you. Feel free to comment in my other videos as well. But all I can say is nice try. And I will put up a video here shortly. I'll see what I can cover next.